You're listening to Power Talk, Berkeley Electric Cooperative's official broadcast about the cooperative, our communities, and ways to use energy wisely. And now, let's join our hosts for today's episode.
Good morning, everyone. I am so happy to be here. Sort of awkward for me since I am filling in for Mr. Micah Ponce, who is the communication specialist, but I am your beloved Yahira Bess, which is the PR specialist here at Berkeley Electric, and I am too happy today to be here with our co-host, Miss Libby Rorick, who is our Director of Marketing and Communications, and we also have our very own Captain April Davis from Corps Officer of the Salvation Army here in Charleston, South Carolina. Welcome, ladies.
Good morning. The ladies are in charge today.
Yay! Women power, women power.
There you go.
So go ahead. I'm welcoming you guys here. I feel like this is all new. And please excuse me if I start speaking in Spanish, because, I'm so used to speaking it in Spanish. So it's like, okay, what am I doing here? How does this work?
Yeah, just to give our listeners a little bit of background, if you tune in regularly to Power Talk, Micah and I typically co-host it, but Yahira has graciously stepped in because Micah's schedule filled up to be my co-host today. But Yahira is part of the PR team at Berkeley Electric Cooperative, and she has her very own Spanish language podcast that goes out on the local Spanish radio stations as well as on YouTube. So I'm glad she can join us today, but welcome, April. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You joined us last year to talk about all the good work that the Salvation Army is doing, so we're happy to have you back. Again, the Salvation Army is such an iconic organization, and a lot of people this time of year, think of the Salvation Army, and the red kettle is just something that comes to mind. Very much synonymous with the holidays. So let's get started by just reminding our audience a little bit about yourself and what all you do at the Salvation Army.
So a little bit about me personally. I'm married to the love of my life, Josh. We've been married for 10 years, and we have 3 daughters, 7-year-old twins named Abigail and Eve, and a 1.5-year-old named Olivia.
Oh.
They have lots of energy, and sometimes we are very tired, which is why I have to have my second cup of coffee already.
Yes.
Keeps me going. And so, we've been working for the Salvation Army for altogether almost 20 years. And the capacity that we're in now as pastors and administrators, about 7 years. And this is actually our 4th location. Do the math, that is a lot of moving
Yes.
here in Charleston. But we are loving it. It's just a beautiful area, a beautiful city. And as I mentioned, part of what we do is we're pastors. It's a church. We're a Christian organization. And we also obviously have a lot of social services that people may or may not know about. So the things that we do during Christmas are just a little piece of that. Mm-hmm. But we also have social services that go on in North Charleston and in Somerville. We have a couple of caseworkers that when we have funds available that they can help with light bills or rent and things like that, and sometimes some miscellaneous things depending on the requirements for that funding. And our food pantry that's in North Charleston that's open 5 days a week year round. We have an after school program that we oversee, and a summer day camp program during the summer. So we have lots going on that we oversee and we participate in throughout the year.
Awesome.
So, if someone is only familiar with the holiday presents that the Salvation Army has, they may not be aware that it is a church, like you said. Do you guys have services on?
We do every Sunday at 11 a.m. And before that, we have Sunday school as well at 10 a.m.
Okay.
in West Ashley.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Wow. Well, I'm excited, April, to have you here because someone says Christmas, they say bells. I'm like, and Libby knows I'm all in for it because I love Christmas. It's the time of the year. It's just, I know some people say it's Thanksgiving because you're with your family. Yes, I do love that too. But it's just, I don't know, the spirit of Christmas, it just like takes me over. I'm just like all over that. So I'm excited to have you on the show. And I'm pretty sure you probably already know as Berkeley Electric, we are governed by our 7 principles. And one of our principles is, concern for our community. we always focus on our members, the needs of our members. And that's, spreading from like our kids, the youth, the schools. So to have you here and to talk about Christmas is like a double joy for me.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit. I mean, you were just talking about the angel trees. If you can tell us your initiative, on the details of angel trees, because I know here at Berkeley Electric, we love angel trees. When we get those emails that come out, it's like, ooh, let's grab one. Let's do 2 or 3. But we also have to share the joy with everyone else and the other departments. But I think it's beautiful that you guys have that program, and that program brings so much joy to those kids that are in need right now.
Yeah, Angel Tree is probably my favorite thing that I do all year. I love the craziness and busyness of it, and it brings so much joy to my heart interacting with families. So what that is, for people that are not as familiar, is it provides Christmas gifts to children of underprivileged families. They come to us, they register that last full week of September each year at our West Ashley location, and they can come from any of the 3 Lowcountry counties. We also have some Dorchester County registrations that are also available to Berkeley and Charleston County if they missed the one in West Ashley, and that's usually the first full week of October. So they come in and they register their kids, and all the basic information that would be needed for a donor to shop for them is printed on a tag, which goes out on those trees that you might see in Walmart or at Northwoods Mall. And anybody can take them, and they shop for the child, and the gifts come back to us, and we have a couple days in December that we distribute all of those to the families. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And here at the co-op, we do love adopting kids off the angel tree. And some employees will go in together to split the costs and share the joy. And so it's another way to give back to the community. And, as a utility, we serve everybody in our service territory. So we see firsthand the families that are struggling. The cost of everything's gone up. And, it's so pronounced during the holidays. If you're struggling the other 11 months out of the year to get by, it's hard to find those extra dollars to make a child's Christmas special. So it's really a gift to us to be able to help families.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So for our listeners, if you're just tuning in, it's a great show. We're talking about the holiday spirit. We have Captain April Davis here with us, and she's just informing the community about the red kettle that they have, and of course the angel trees. So I'm just excited, as I mentioned, because Christmas is near and dear to me. And I'm already, I literally got goosebumps. I'm not lying to you. I love Christmas. But tell us, April, just as we were mentioning previously, the red kettles at the stores where you're going to be seeing them here shortly, ringing the bell. That to me is very important, because it's giving back to the community in some shape, form, or capacity, the way that Libby was talking about. But how can the people of our community get involved with the red kettle effort that you guys have going on?
Yeah, that is super important because it's our main fundraiser for the whole entire year coming up. So number one thing, people can give when they pass the kettle. It doesn't matter how much, even a few cents. I mean, if 100 people give a few cents, that adds up to a lot of dollars, right?
Yes.
But beyond that, if people are wanting to get even more involved, we need people to help count the money. We need people to help drive and pick up the kettles. We need people to stand out there.
Yeah.
Not always the most fun thing, but I think it might be more fun than you would realize. If you're a talker, you like people, and to be out there being a smiling face and the conversations that you get to have with people while standing at the kettle. And it's really, really important for us to get volunteers to do that, because when somebody's volunteering, then 100% of what's in the kettle goes towards our programs. Yeah. And so that would be a big help if people can volunteer to be a bell ringer.
Wow.
So where we used to live and where I used to work, community engagement was very important. It was a university, and they would schedule people out. You could sign up for an hour, 2-hour volunteer shifts with the kettle. So every holiday season, I try to bring my son out and get him involved in an active service. And that started when he was just a little toddler. And I would take him on my red kettle shifts, and which was both a blessing and a curse, because if you've tried to stand somewhere for an hour or two with a toddler, There are challenges with that. So he had a whole long list of bribery. After we finish this, we'll get you the cookie and all the other treats you want. But it was a blessing in many ways because he's a cute little chubby-cheeked, curly-haired boy, and people would stop by and visit and give. So
That was her secret weapon.
yeah. But just trying to teach him from a very young age that you have to give back to your community, and you're very fortunate, and give of your time and your treasures. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So so if you've never signed up to be a bell ringer, maybe give it a try. It really brings it home. The holiday spirit and giving of others is really the best way to receive joy. So.
Yes. And then I know that Salvation Army, they have such a big impact all year round, as you guys were mentioning. But I don't think a lot of people, because now I'm learning a little bit more about the kettle program, how that's the only money that you guys are doing as a fundraiser for all these other programs that you guys are providing for the community. But what is the organization's mission? Because I don't think a lot of people also understand that or know that.
So we have an official mission statement, which says it's to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and to meet human needs in his name without discrimination. So basically that means we want to help people, but we do that because of our love for Jesus Christ and the love that he had for the world, so much that he died for the world, right? Like we read in John 3:16. So everything that we do, we just try to love people like Jesus loves them, and to do everything that we can to help them, not just their physical needs, but their mental, emotional, spiritual needs as much as we can. And if it's something we can't do, to find someone who can do that, who can provide that for them.
Yeah. So you've mentioned a few of the programs and services that you offer year round. Let's dive a little bit deeper into some of those. So the food pantry, what are the hours and location of that?
So that's at 1551 Remount Road in North Charleston. Typically we're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
I believe I could be like a half hour off, but kind of normal business hours. Sure. And did you ask something else besides that, or just the open hours?
And how is the food pantry stocked? Do you guys accept donations, or you work with the food bank, or?
We do accept donations from the community, but the main part of it comes from the Low Country Food Bank.
Okay. Yeah. So, financial assistance is another service you guys offer when funding's available. What all does that entail?
So when we have the funds available, we can help with electric bills, water, and rent. We do have some special funding available specifically for children with special needs. Like if there's some sort of thing that a parent needs for their child that has special needs. It's kind of a random thing, but and every now and then we get some donations that might be towards some more miscellaneous things to help with financially.
Wow. That is, it's beautiful and it's awesome at the same time. And you were mentioning that you and your husband have been doing this for 20-something years, around there. And I just come to think of, there has to be within that period of time that you've been giving back to the community a moving story, and you probably have a bunch of stories, but what could be the thing that gets you out every day to do more, to help more, to give more?
I would say more than just one individual story, although I will share an individual story. It's more so a group of people, which this time of year especially is those that come to us or have come to us to register for Angel Tree, because we have some of the most meaningful interactions with people during that time. It's amazing. We've never seen this person in our lives. They come and they sit across the table from us and they pour out their life story, like all their troubles. They just unload it, which not in a bad way. We want to be there for them. And I think of a lady that I met this season who came to register her children for Angel Tree. She told me that she had 3 girls and a boy, and she had lost a daughter a few years back. And she was telling me when she was in her second trimester, the doctor had told her there was a problem with the baby's brain. And he said that it would be wise to terminate the pregnancy. And she said, no, I'm not going to do that because you never know. The baby might still survive and I would still take care of her. And so she continued until it was time for the baby to be born. And the baby was born with a lot of problems and fought for her life for a few days and ended up losing that battle.
Yeah.
And it was obviously heartbreaking for her. We can't even imagine as mothers, if we've never had that happen to us, what that might feel like. We just know that it has to be super painful. And she talked about the deep depression that she went into. But then she started talking about her youngest daughter, who's now 3 years old, who was her rainbow baby.
Oh.
And how grateful and joyful she is to have her youngest in her life. And kind of how God turned that around and gave her something joyful to celebrate about. And her little 3-year-old keeps her so busy and occupied that she really doesn't have time to think much about grief, honestly. But I say that all that to say this is just one story among many of how we are able to be listening ears to people and walk alongside them in the most difficult times in their lives. And to build those relationships with people. We don't want to just give handouts to people. We don't want to just say, here's a bag of toys, see you next year.
Yeah.
We want to establish a connection with them on a deeper level. And that's just one example out of many of how we do that every day.
So, again, as a utility, we serve everybody and are proud to do so. Part of Yahira's job with the cooperative is to do outreach to our Spanish-speaking members. What does the Low Country's diversity, how is that an opportunity or a challenge for you guys? I know you speak Spanish, so how does that play out for you guys?
I would say it's definitely been helpful for our staff since I came, because when it's easier for them to just call me or forward a message to me when they don't understand what's being said. So I feel like I'm grateful that God has been using me to open up more opportunities for the Salvation Army to serve in this community and to be able to break down that communication barrier. Because normally it really is a challenge when we don't have employees that are Spanish speaking. Although in my absence, if I'm on vacation or I'm doing something else, they know how to sort of get around that with Google Translate, and they do their best. For our food pantry, we have forms in Spanish.
Great.
So that doesn't mean that we can't serve our Spanish-speaking community or people of any other language. We do our best to meet their needs as best we can.
Yeah, and we tend to focus on Spanish, but so many other countries are represented in the Low Country. So growing Brazilian population and lots of other diversity. Where did you pick up your language skills?
Well, I was always interested in Spanish from a very young age because my cousin, her dad is Hispanic, who's from El Salvador, and his mother, so my cousin's grandmother, she lived with them, and I would go over and visit, and she did not know any English. She would talk to me in Spanish, and she would smile, and I was like, I have no idea what you're saying, but I wanted to understand because I heard it spoken all the time. And so when I got old enough to take Spanish, which for me was high school, my high school offered it, I was like, yes, I'm taking this opportunity, and it just clicked right away. Like I loved it so much. I was just drinking it in and wanting to learn more. And then when I got to college, I decided to make that one of my majors.
Nice.
And I got the opportunity to go study abroad in Costa Rica for a semester. So then I was able to move beyond the reading and book learning and actually get practice with speaking it. And that's really what got me over that hurdle.
Yeah, and the cultural immersion is also so very important. Yahira knows firsthand. It's one thing to speak the language or be able to communicate, but to understand culturally the differences and similarities, I would imagine, is very important in your ministry.
Absolutely.
How long did you stay in Costa Rica?
3.5 months.
Oh, wow.
So it was like January to April.
Okay.
and stayed with a local family, 2 of them actually, and that did not speak English. And so the other people, there were 12 of us in my program that went over. There were a couple of people that did not speak any Spanish out of my program. So that was a big challenge for them. But they left Costa Rica knowing a lot more than they came with.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm pretty sure that was a big eye-opener, from here in the United States and then going to Costa Rica, where it's like, wow, just the way of living, we are very blessed here in the U.S. I always say that compared to other countries around the world.
Yes. And we also took an excursion into Nicaragua while I was there. And I saw an even deeper level of poverty, honestly, in Nicaragua than in Costa Rica. Comparatively, Costa Rica is not as poor of a country as other Central and South American countries, from what I understand. But Nicaragua, it was heartbreaking, honestly, to see how the people were living there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Stuff.
Wow.
Well, to go back, one more program I wanted to ask you about was your after-school program. You mentioned that. How does that work, and what hours do you guys provide?
So it's open 2:30 to 6, basically whenever kids get out of school.
Sure.
So which is usually the first kid gets there like 2:30, 2:40. Parents can call in and ask to speak to our Red Shield Club director. His name's Devin, and he can set up an appointment to do the paperwork in person with parents. I know that probably a lot of the people listening are Berkeley County people, and it's in Charleston County. But if for some reason they had kids going to school closer to our facility in West Ashley, a lot of the schools do provide transportation. Like we're a bus stop for them. So did I miss anything?
So is it's activities and maybe some homework help?
Yes, we have homework time every day, education time. There's structured recreation. They try to teach them how to play different sports so they're more well-rounded and things. So we try to maximize those 3.5 hours that we have with the kids, for sure.
Wow. And what's your capacity on that program?
We're not full at the moment. We have maybe close to 20 kids now, which is up from last year. So we could probably take another 10 to 12.
Okay.
Even this school year, if anybody could benefit from that.
Nice.
And is it at no cost?
It is $40 a week.
Okay. Which is great. Yeah.
And it also includes snacks. I didn't talk about snack time, but we feed them snack every day.
Favorite subject in school.
Yes. One of my daughters says that. My favorite class is lunch, Mom.
Yeah, my son said that the other day. Oh my goodness,
that is so funny.
But I mean that's such a gift. I can remember as a new mom having anxiety about finding a daycare, because cost is such an obstacle for so many families to find quality care and enriching care to where they're safe first and foremost, but that they're getting help with their homework or learning about new sports and getting that physical activity, get the wiggles out after a long day at school. Yeah. So such a gift for our families.
I love it. And April, you were talking about all the programs, especially with the angel trees, going back to that. I would love, being that I work with limited English proficiency, just to partner with you guys, one of these seasons. It doesn't have to be this year because I know things are already rolling, but maybe for the upcoming, where maybe have a day where you guys are at our location in Goose Creek and we can welcome families to come out, where I can even help on the bilingual side of it for those families that maybe would like to, put their name for their children for the angel trees. So I think that would be a great opportunity to give back also to the community. I think that would be great.
I think so too.
Awesome.
So since we're in November, the deadline to sign up for Angel Tree for this year has passed, but you said for next year it'll probably be September, October again. But those Angel Tree tags will be going out in stores and...
Yeah, they are in process of going out now.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and you just get your tag and follow the directions?
Yes. There is a QR code on each tag.
Okay.
with packing instructions. If a person is a first-time donor and they're not sure, where is this supposed to go? How am I supposed to do this? And there's clothing sizes on there, wish list. It says what they need. It says their name, their age, and their gender. So pretty much all the information they would need to shop for the child.
And I want to just ask you real quickly, April, I don't think we touched it yet. Volunteers, if someone wants to give or not, they might be like, oh, I can't give money, but they can give their time to volunteer. Who can they contact? Where can they go? Just to fill out the form, be like, hey, I can give you a few hours to volunteer.
So they can either call us or they can go to, and I cannot remember that exact URL, but they can Google Charleston, South Carolina Salvation Army, and it'll take you to our website.
Okay.
And there's an online inquiry form that you can fill out.
Oh, okay.
We get all of those in a shared email. So either call or submit an inquiry through our website about volunteering, and we'll get back with you really soon because we check that regularly.
Okay, good. And I'm pretty sure bilingual is always needed.
Yes.
Very much needed.
Absolutely.
So if you are listening and you would love to help, please do so because they are looking for volunteers. You also have a main number, which is 843-474-5271. And the receptionist can also transfer you to the right person or give you the email to Miss April if you need assistance with Spanish. And she can help you.
Actually, that number is 843-747-5271.
I just switched it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
middle.
That's okay.
So 843-747-5271. Mm-hmm. And again, the red kettle's such an iconic piece of outreach and so present in our Christmas culture each year. Like April said, the bell ringers, if you'll volunteer your time, then 100% of the proceeds collected can go to the mission work of the Salvation Army. Mm-hmm. But they also need behind the scenes money counters, drivers to,
pick up and bring back to our facility.
Okay. So if you want to learn more about how to get involved as with the Red Kettles, again, is that on calling that main number or the website?
Yes. Now, specifically, if you just want to be a bell ringer, like if that's all you want to do, there's a specific website for that that's called registertoring.com.
Okay.
Super simple.
And no training needed for that. I'm going to sign myself up for that one because that's no training.
And I know I mentioned just volunteering an hour or two. Is that a possibility to just sign up for a couple hours or do you need to commit?
Yes. If people go on there and and there's only an option for a 4-hour shift, if you just call and ask to get in touch with my husband, Captain Josh, he will be able to change it on the back end to a 2-hour window. Okay. We just we try to just put 4-hour shifts on there to try to get people to take more hours. Yeah. But he can change it on his end.
But I have seen groups of people get together and, maybe go have lunch before or after with your friends. And I've seen, folks caroling and, just make an event out of it. And
we do love big groups, church groups, and people have competitions, like different Rotary clubs, they each take a day, different locations, and they have people, doing 2-hour shifts throughout the day so they can cover the whole day, and then they see, who made more money. Oh. We love those competitions. Yeah. It brings in lots of money.
Yeah, great ideas. Who has the craziest Christmas sweaters,
Right.
Just get into it because it's not just the Christmas time that the funds collected help support, is your outreach all year long. And people really have a lot of challenges that they face day in and day out, and Salvation Army is there to help support them and help walk with them.
Yes, we are.
Well, thank you, April, for joining us here today because we're getting ready to wrap it up. It's that time, unfortunately, right? Because we still want to talk about Christmas and giving to the people, which is very important. And thank you, Libby, of course, for doing a wonderful job, as always. But For those that are tuning in, thank you for tuning into Power Talk. This is the official broadcast of your electric cooperative. You can catch up on the past episodes on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. Get a behind-the-scenes look on Berkeley Electric's YouTube channel. So thank you. Until the next time. Bye.
Berkeley Electric Cooperative wants to help its members avoid costly problems this winter. Be sure your heat is set on automatic. Constantly running your auxiliary heat could add over $100 to your bill. Next, set your thermostat to 68 degrees. Helping you save money is part of the cooperative difference.